Hello, and thank you for joining our webinar today, where we'll be discussing our new SEO plans and the system changes that we've made to support them. I'm Chad Hill, and I have Adam Stetzer here with me as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Very exciting launch for us. I'm in the Rochester office, and I'm joined with our account management staff and about half of our customer service group. Say hi, everybody.
Hello. Hi there.
So really exciting stuff, Chad. I know we've been working long and hard for this launch, so excited to see what you have for us.
Definitely. Well, we've got a lot of good stuff. So let's jump right in. I did want to spend a little time before we jump into the actual system changes, again, setting some of the changes we've made around the framework and how we've been discussing SEO. I found this very helpful the last couple weeks since we've been slowly working into our marketing materials to really think about our Real SEO program and framework as a great way to really think about how are the different parts of SEO relevant to the way our program works. So again, let's just run through that. So we've broken this into 4 simple steps. Real SEO. R stands for research. We know that that always starts with identifying the keywords that your customer is searching for, and in this case, your customer's customer is searching for, and then building all of the program that we run for you around that initial research. That research will feed into then creating compelling and good end user value with the content. So that means writing compelling articles, and we've expanded it with these programs into videos, infographics, press releases. So any type of content that we're creating always is going to support the themes that we discover in the research phase, but most importantly, that content we create needs to be compelling for the audience that ends up seeing it. Now, a lot of people start with sort of the title tags and description tags at the very beginning. We really say that that's next after you have great content. You want to tune that content in a way that not only does catch the title tags and description tags and all of the important things from a search engine indexing standpoint, but also tune it so that it is really compelling again for the end user audience. So that would be things like adding in nice paragraph breaks and section titles and images. So all of those things are also important to include. Now, analysis also includes all of the dashboard and the marketing analytics that we're pulling together, where we're pulling together not only the effort up front, but how many visits you're getting, your search engine rankings, things like phone calls, web leads, getting that all into one place so we can really understand, what effort we're putting in as well as what we're getting out. And the final part is really where the rubber meets the road, and that's launching all of that great, compelling content and putting it in the right place so that we can earn links back to the client's website, as well as build out their website. And one of the things we've rolled out here is we're adding an on-site content category of content for pretty much every program we've built here. And that, again, is a great way for us to syndicate information out, not only to your website, but to all the other places where we can earn links back and then promote it via social media, RSS, and a number of other things that we've done to help, again, promote that content, earn those links back so that the rankings come along with it. Now, we've been working on this product and project for about a year now. Again, we've got a number of features here that we're going to be talking about today that are categorized into each of these 4 buckets: the research, end user value, analysis, and launch. So just on the research side, we've rolled out, we'll be talking about our keyword selection tool, the ability to target keywords to pages and map keywords to pages in the software, the ability to not only, if you're a local business with geo-targeted keywords, we've added the ability to find related keywords that are more interesting to write about, but still can help you rank on those geo-targeted keywords. And then a new methodology for helping you select keywords that are not overly competitive for the budget that you have. On the end user value, again, we'll hit a lot of these things, but a couple of the exciting new features are things like we're relaunching our premium writer team. We're including infographics, again, in most of the programs, so that's really exciting. Videos is something new, press releases. So all this information, all these things are really exciting. On the analysis side, Again, we're going to be bundling in on-site report, more extensive on-site implementation upfront report, as well as doing an implementation of all of the on-site suggestions that we have. So that's pretty cool. And then again, we're kind of reworking the way we've done local SEO. In the past, it was an add-on to programs. What we've done now is we've said it's going to be a distinct program that includes traditional, what you might call sort of content marketing, along with the local components. So we're bundling those two things together, and those are all part of the analysis program. And then finally, on the launch side, again, we've done a lot of stuff around finding better and better sites where we can publish content, and we've integrated Twitter to help promote the content. We're adding in RSS. So this is something that you might say, well, you're adding in RSS. It's been around a long time. Yes, but we've found that it's still a very compelling way to promote the content marketing that we're doing to help, again, the search engines and the audience find that information by creating RSS feeds to help promote it. And then again, we're doing a few new things around social interaction. So we've been doing Twitter. We're adding in sort of a blog engagement feature, and there's some other cool things we're doing at launch. So let's talk about, again, where we are in the plan implementation. So we had a webinar 2 weeks ago where we announced these new plans. And last night, we actually published all the pricing on the website. We had a sneak peek of that pricing and how it would look when we talked last time. That's now on the website. So tomorrow morning, all of these new plans will be available in the dashboard for you to sign up new SOWs, and we're going to talk a little bit about converting existing ones. And then the plan is from really tomorrow through the end of the month for those people who had proposals out for some of the old programs, the old plans. You can still continue to sign SOWs on those through the end of the month, but then on July 1st, we'll sunset those. So anyone who's actively on one of our, now what we're going to be calling our V1 SEO plans, you can continue to run that program, but you will not be able to sign any new SOWs for the old plans. Anything after July 1st will be on the new plan. Okay, great. As I mentioned, pricing is now available on the website, and we've actually dedicated a tab here at the top part of the screen to pricing. Take a look at that in a minute. We've had these updates. We've made some updates since we did the sneak preview the week before last, and a number of people said we really need to see how many keywords are appropriate for each plan, so we added that in. We also, there were a couple bugs with making sure we had the right descriptions for the local plans, so those have been updated. We've also added in our pay-per-click and social pricing on the web, and just on the sort of a throw in here with the pay-per-click, since we've moved this to online, we also took this opportunity to add 2 new budget tiers for pay-per-click. So we've added a budget tier for people who are between $2,500 and $5,000 in spend, and then for people that are between 10 and 15. The feedback we've gotten is that our jump was too drastic, and there were people who wanted a smoother set of stepping stones up the budget ladder, so we made those changes. Now, many people have asked, well, are you going to continue to maintain your Word doc pricing? And we're actually going to be retiring that, so all of our pricing information will be put on the website here. We felt that that was the best way to make sure that everyone had the most up-to-date information, and then we didn't have old documents floating around. This stuff will always be up-to-date. We're time-stamping it at the bottom for those people who do want to go and pull it off and make some different changes. There'll be a timestamp at the bottom of the document just letting you know when this pricing went live. Great. Well, moving right along into some of the system changes we've made, and I've broken our discussion today into really 3 different categories. One, we're first going to talk about system changes related to the proposal, and then we're going to talk about the campaign details changes, really the system side of administering a campaign and knowing what settings, how to change settings in the campaigns. And then the third thing is we're going to talk a little bit more at the end, if we have enough time, about, again, going back to some of the new content types. But we did hit those in the last webinar, so if we don't get enough time to hit those again, we've already done that before. Okay, so a couple system changes that we've made. First thing is that you will no longer be able to add service plans on the new account ad screen. So I'm going to demo this in a second, but I want to hit these 3 bullets and then move over to the system. So you won't be able to, we're moving that slowly into requiring that in order to get a campaign kicked off, you'll need to go through the proposal flow. So we're taking our first step there. So we've made it nice and easy here on the right-hand side. We've said essentially that it's you're looking to select a service plan here, it's moved, and it's now in the campaign detail screen. The other thing we've done is we've made the plan selection as well as which plans you currently have a little bit nicer. We've added some more graphics on, made the layout a little bit easier to use so you're not having to go check boxes and search through things. We've categorized it. So let's go take a look at some of these changes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in a lead for a new account for VetHubs, and I'm actually going to call it HubShout Webinar Test. Now, as I mentioned before, you used to be able to hear on this screen if you wanted to and you knew exactly what plan you wanted, you could actually go into this screen, check the service plans, and you could actually sign the SOW right from the screen. So at this point, what we've done is we've made it so that you add the account here. So again, the way I got here is I clicked admin and I clicked accounts to clear out my any cookies I had set, and now I'm creating a new account. I'm going to make it a child account of VetHubs. The account name is going to be HubShout Webinar Test, and that's what I need to do. So let me click Add Account. So as I mentioned before, we are slowly transitioning into one path where you'll always go through the proposal path to add a new account, but we still have a couple flows here that for those people who are familiar with creating an account and a campaign, then adding your service plans without a proposal, you'll still be able to do that for now. I'm going to go over here to this campaign I created called HubShout.com. Definitely want to rename that. Just to remember to remove it. Update that. Okay, so I have 2 different paths I can take now. So let's go ahead and create a new proposal. So what you'll see on this screen is you'll see now that, again, we've made this a little bit. It used to be there was a drop-down, and there was a very long scrolling list of plans, and you had to find the right one and hit the plus arrow. We've changed that around a little bit to make it a little easier to use. So what you're seeing here is the ability to open and collapse each of the different major service plan categories, and then within each of those categories are the related plans. So if I click on either on the arrow over here to the right or just anywhere in this bar area, I can open up that section of plans, and you'll see all the plans here. Now, what we've also done, just in case someone's confused about or wants to not have to reference back to the website for pricing, we've added in the ability to, if you click on the information icon here to the right of any of the plans, a light box will pop up and give you the information in that plan. Again, this will be the same set of features that you'll see on the website, so there won't be any differences. One more point to make. You'll see here again that all of the plans as of yesterday, the existing legacy plans, are now marked with V1 because we're actually going to continue to keep the names the same as we move forward, so there will be an SEO basic. But if you are on a legacy plan, you'll see that your plan is now going to be called SEO Basic V1. Let's go ahead and pick an SEO Basic plan that we want to add to this. Great. So I want to point out what's happened here is we've added the SEO plan with a wholesale cost of $3.99. You still have the ability to set your retail price. Now, anytime you pick an SEO plan, we will automatically default in the premium placement and premium writer options. So, and that's based on the number of articles in the plan. So, again, these prices will change depending on how many articles are in the plan. Okay, so again, you could at this point go through and add any other program that you would want, local SEO program, pay-per-click, whatever it might be. So you have the ability to do that. Now, just like you would today, you can now click View Proposal. And because I had SEO plan selected, I see an Overview tab, an SEO tab, Deliverables, and Investment. Again, if I go to Deliverables, I'm going to see that same table of data that I saw back on the plan selection page. But let's go check out. We want to add some keywords. So let's go down to the bottom of this screen, and we want to add our competitive analysis section. And we'll just to make it easy, we'll just pull back some keywords that our website already ranks on. Great. So I want to maybe add SEO, outsource SEO. Let's do white label SEO. Let's do SEO reseller. We'll pick those 3 keywords. Go back to our proposal preview. Go back to proposal settings. So now we have a proposal here for basically SEO basic with premium placement and premium writer. And then you have the ability, we've added the keywords in. And then you have the ability at this point to activate it and move it through the sales cycle. So let's activate it here. And then let's go back to our proposal, and we'll come back to this in a minute, or to our presentation, and we'll come back to this in a minute. Okay, so on the cut scores, this is something we introduced in our last webinar. And what we talked about here was trying to retire our appropriate for results methodology for selecting keywords. And we realized that it's always been a little cumbersome to have to kind of toggle back and forth between Google and when you're doing keyword research to identify whether a keyword is too competitive or is not, well, it's too competitive really usually what you're looking for. And so what we've done is we're still working on rolling out this cut score methodology, but the general idea is that there will be a set of points that each of the campaigns will get. And we're back testing to try to figure out what the right number of points is so that we can have it be somewhat equivalent to the current appropriate for results. So when this rolls out, and this will be something that we're working on here the rest of the month to get built in, but what will happen is it'll just be helping you when we were back on that keyword research screen to basically figure out what keywords might be appropriate for the budget that you have. Oh, and I should mention, for now, for any new plans you sign up, keep using a current appropriate for results. So just refer back to the current SEO document, pricing document, use the appropriate for results information there. That's what you should use for the rest of this month. Okay, so let's talk about the campaign details screen. There's been a lot of changes to campaign details, and I should say that this program, when Adam and I have looked at the work that we've done and tried to sort of figure out where are the tangible changes, there's been, it's a little bit like an iceberg. There's been all this work that we've done sort of below the waterline, a lot of infrastructure workflow work that we've done to actually implement these plans. The visible changes to an end user, aside from actually the work that we're doing and the content and where it's being placed, which is going to be, of course, very visible, but from the reporting and software standpoint, the visible changes aren't that great. there aren't that many, I should say. There are a number of changes that we've had to make in the campaign details area so that you can administer the new features that we've built in. So let's talk about those right now and kind of walk through them. This presentation, by the way, I'm going to make sure we package along with the webinar recording so that you can refer back to these different screens, because I know people will have questions on this. So the first thing is keyword mapping. Let's go back over and toggle over to our proposal that we started working on. I'm actually going to jump back into the proposal. I'm going to grab these keywords that we identified. Okay. I do need to add these back in here quick. I'm going to add these and I'll remove them. Okay, so let's talk about how this works. Okay, so back on the basic tab, you're setting your target root domain. And this, of course, is, in this case, HubShout.com. On the advanced tab, you have the ability to identify some deep links. So if we wanted to, for example, in this one, you saw the 3 keywords that I just picked. I had outsource SEO, SEO reseller, and white label SEO. Let's just say that I actually wanted a deep link. I'm going to create a page of content at white label SEO. And we've covered this in the past, but I just wanted to touch on it again because it's an important part of this program. But I've got 2 new deep links here. So what this is allowing me to do is when I go back over to the keyword screen, I can now map those keywords to a specific deep link on my site, which says, hey, when you're creating content and doing content marketing related to white label SEO or SEO reseller, I want you to make sure that any links you earn, that you have them, ideally, most of them, link back to this page if possible. So let's show you how to do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take SEO reseller, and I'm going to, in this list over here, pick SEO reseller. Now you might look at this and say, well, is that good or bad what you just did? So actually this is okay, because what this is saying is that sometimes when you get the term SEO reseller and we want to do content marketing on that, I want it to benefit the home page. And then other times when you get it, I want you to benefit this interior page. Now with white label SEO, maybe we never want it to benefit the home page. I just want it to benefit one of the interior pages. So I can go in here to add this keyword, and I can take out the white label SEO that benefited just the root domain. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh that page. Okay, great. So what I have now is I have my target keywords. I have I've mapped some keyword links. So let's go back to the presentation, and we'll come back to this as we build this through. Surprised there's no questions on that, Adam.
Well, there are a few questions for you. A couple popped in just back when you were showing the service plans about the premium writer and premium placement, asking, and it must have been 3 or 4 on this, is that required or is that optional? And someone chimed back in, can you just articulate how we should go about making the decision of whether we should include premium writer time and extra effort on premium placements?
Right. I mean, our general position, we believe you should. We believe that especially given the advice and changes that Google has and other search engines have been building into their algorithms, that the message is loud and clear. This content is the quality of content, and the end user value, the audience value of content is critical. And so the time to do that, though, costs more money. So what we tried to do in building these plans was to say we wanted to give people both the option of a program that was sort of the most budget friendly possible, but for the people who really care and want to do it right, we want to give you the option to get a real noticeable upgrade in terms of the amount of time that we can spend writing the content, creating the content, and then also the places we can go to put that content. Again, it's based on how many articles are in the plans. So every plan's a little different. And I guess Adam, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but our general advice is yes, we think you should definitely do it.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, the face of content marketing and the face of SEO is changing. Everybody on this conference call is aware of that. And as you said, we're trying to strike a balance to recognize that and move with it to be where Google wants us to be doing excellent content marketing, but also recognize budgets can sometimes be constrained. So I also highly, highly recommend it. I think everyone here should think about how they position it to their clients. If their clients ultimately say, I just can't afford it, and they take it away, I think it's important that you have that discussion with them. And you guide their expectations and say, okay, no problem. This is still a very high quality product, and it's getting better with this release by far than what it was, but it could be even better. So if you're unhappy with it in 6 months, let's revisit that, just like any product that has multiple levels. The other question for you, Chad, here regards the use of the word grandfathered for pricing. There's a little bit of confusion there. Somebody was asking if that meant they could get the new plans at the old price. Weren't totally sure what you meant about you can migrate this month or have to migrate by the end of the month. Can you just hit that one more time so that everyone's clear?
Right. So there's basically 3 buckets of people, and it doesn't really. This only has to do with when you sign the SOW. So this has nothing to do with when you came in as a reseller. Okay. So don't make sure you separate those 2 things. So it's when you sign on a new one of your clients. So those people who have either an active service plan on one of our original plans, I guess our legacy plans, our V1 plans, you can continue to get that exact set of services for the same price that you're currently on as long as you like. Okay, and you basically starting tomorrow morning for the next couple weeks, you're actually going to have a choice between selecting the SEO Basic V1, which is the old program, or SEO Basic, which will essentially be the new plan. So you'll have that choice for the next couple of weeks. The reason we did that, the feedback we got from resellers, from you guys, was, hey, I've got some proposals out. That's really going to stink if I get a signed contract back in right when you change your plans. So we said, okay, you're right. We need to be a little. There needs to be some time to do the phase in, phase out. So we've got these 2 weeks where, if you've got somebody, because really what that is like you can now go to anyone who has an old proposal sitting around and say, hey, things are about to change. If you want that deal, you better sign it in the next 2 weeks, because after the starting July 1st, that's not going to be an available option anymore. Okay. And then was there a third? And I guess the third bucket is, and then the third group of people is, anyone who then comes in July 1st or after will only have the new plan available to them. So yeah. So the pricing.
And I've been having that same discussion in chat. Use this as a pending event. Sales often drags on, and sales cycles are always longer than everyone wants to. This is an excellent pending event. Product development team's been hard at work. We knew this was coming for 6 months. Here it is. It's arrived, and so use that to close the deal. The last one for you, Chad, is just revisit again this issue of cut scores and the keyword points. The scoring points are not yet available. We're releasing this in stages, as we've been talking about in our forum very regularly, just about every day. I think some people are unclear on what to use until that's out. And can you cover that again, and why we kept the plan names the same so the methodology didn't change in the interim?
Right. So keep using the appropriate for results methodology, which basically for each plan at the bottom of the current Word doc there is a number. And the way that works today is that if you go in and you Google LCD TVs and you put that in quotes in Google, you'll see right above the results that come back, you'll see number of results. It'll say 1 to 10 of, and then something like a ton. It'll say in that case like millions and millions. So what the appropriate for results methodology does is say when you put a keyword in quotes, what Google's returning from you is all of the pages in their index that have that exact phrase on the page. And so that's what we in the past have used. So it basically, if that's not a very frequently used phrase, there's not going to be as many pages in their index, which means it's going to be easier for you to get to the top. If it's something like HGTVs, it's going to be a very large number. So for the next couple weeks, continue to use that methodology. Like I said, it's a little cumbersome because you have to kind of toggle back and forth. You have to find a keyword and then go search in Google with the quotes and find out what the number of results are. So I wouldn't worry too much about the new methodology, because really all we're trying to do there is save you time, and we're going to back test it so the kinds of keywords you can pick for the budget are about the same. So don't let this be an obstacle to waiting, because all we're basically saying is that we're just going to make it a little easier in the software to be able to try to find keywords that are fit for the plan that you're signing up for.
Chad, another question for you that several people have asked. They're pretty excited about the premium writer and premium placement as upsell opportunities, but they're also a little at a loss on how to articulate the value proposition there. Do we have any sales support material there that they can use?
Yeah, we have a PDF that we've put together. It's a sell sheet on the premium writer group, and what the difference between the two categories is. So that's something that is available through your account manager or customer service. And again, some of these marketing materials, we do have some plans to get this into the portal, but for now, just please contact customer service or your account manager, and they can easily send it to you. In fact, now, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we have the ability to add documents to tasks. So if you just want to raise a support task, they can very easily attach the documents to the task, and you'd have it right there for you to reference. Okay, so we're on to topic keywords. So we just plugged in, we did some keyword mapping, and we've identified some target keywords. Now, one of the things that we've done, and I'm going to put in just an example in a minute when we go back to the presentation, but one of the things that we're really excited about here, and everyone on the team is excited about, is this idea of topic keywords. We've had a really hard time over the last couple of years because we have a lot of small business customers. A lot of you have a lot of small business customers that you then have us work with you on. And these small business customers want to rank on geo-targeted keywords. The problem with geo-targeted keywords is they're not great for content marketing. They're very difficult to incorporate into content. So what we ended up with is we ended up writing an article that had Phoenix injury lawyer Phoenix, random kind of keywords with geographic identifiers in them, and then you would read them and you would immediately say, well, this is a very awkwardly worded piece of content. And so really what we were trying to do is find a way to get away from that. So that's what topic keywords are. You can still have your target keywords, which says, I want to rank on Phoenix injury attorney, but let's not write about that. Who really wants to read about Phoenix injury attorney? They want to read about our related topics, and it basically releases our content marketing team, our writing team, and our graphics department to be able to get a little more creative about truly creating compelling information and that end audience people will really like. So we're excited about this. Let me show you how this works. Let's go back to the demo site. And then just for the heck of it, I'm going to put in, I don't know, SEO Reseller, Washington. Okay. So for national customers, there's a lot of times where these keywords are fine. This is what you want to write about. But if you had a keyword like SEO Reseller Washington, you guys all try to write 400 words or 500 words on SEO Reseller Washington. It's not easy. It's not a great keyword. So what we can do is we might be able to pretty quickly say, well, most of these keywords I can actually just reuse down in for my topic keywords as well. So let's just put in SEO Reseller. Okay, so there's 3 keywords that I'm going to add as topic keywords. Now, we've got a couple other options on this screen, and one of the options is where do you want that topic keyword to benefit? Like which keyword target URL do you want it to work against? And so you have the choice of saying any or picking one page. Let me show you how this works here. So let's go ahead and pick any to start. Now, the other option I have is do you want that topic keyword to be an on-site keyword? So this is something you write on-site blog content about, or is this something to use for your off-site content marketing? In this case, we're going to leave both checked and just hit plus. Okay. So now what I've got is I've got my target keywords and I've got 3 topic keywords. Now let's do a couple more things here. So the first thing I wanted to explain is, let's just say though that, actually, you know, let me delete these first, sorry. Let's put in one of these keywords, SEO reseller. Okay, so let me explain how this works. What's going to happen is at some point in our content marketing program, that it's going to become it's the turn for SEO reseller is going to come up, and we're going to need to go figure out what topic keyword can we use for SEO reseller. So what the system's going to do is say, okay, I need to write about this keyword, SEO reseller, and it's going to be benefiting this target URL. So let me go find a topic keyword for this target URL. So it's going to come down, and it's going to say, oh, I don't have any topic keywords for that target URL, so that's not going to work. Now, what I did before is I might actually go in and say, well, I'm okay if writing about any of these topics for any of these keywords. So what I'll do is I won't get so specific. Sometimes people want to be really specific. Sometimes they won't need to be quite as specific. I'm going to select any and hit enter there or plus there. So now what we've got is it's basically saying that anytime when it comes through and it says I need to write for SEO reseller related to HubShout this target URL, it's going to come down and it's basically going to see that, oh, I can use any of these topics here for that target URL. Okay, so that's the connection. Now, another really cool feature is, let's say that I want to expand this list. This is too narrow. I don't just want to write on those 3 things. So if you click on this little option over on the right-hand side, I can now feed in a keyword and get some results back. So let's actually just search for SEO reseller. Okay, great. Well, what you want to do is you want to pick some less competitive keywords to include as your topic keywords. So again, if you think about what this is all about, this is about creating a much wider net of information that's related but not always about your keyword, right? Because a lot of what Penguin's about is over-optimization. So you don't want the idea of writing the same thing over and over and over again. 1, isn't interesting to an end user, and 2, it actually is something that the search engine algorithms are actively trying to find and eliminate. So you want to expand your web a little bit and write about more things, even though you want to rank on a few target keywords. So in this case, we might say, yeah, let's add SEO reseller packages. Looks good. Plans looks fine. Now we want to keep these keywords down in around 300 or so. Sometimes you might have to pop above that a little bit, but in this case, we're just going to pick some keywords here. SEO reseller services. Maybe we'll write one about reviews. How about a local SEO reseller? Don't want to pick guaranteed SEO reseller or guaranteed SEO, right? That's bad. Best SEO reseller, maybe that's a good one. So let's plug those in. So we've just picked those. We now, same thing, we might say those are fine for any of our content. So now what you've got is, again, you've got some fairly narrowly targeted, fairly narrow set of target keywords. But just in a matter of a few minutes there, I was able to provide a much wider set of keywords that we can now write our content about. And as you can see, these are all related though, right? SEO reseller plans, SEO reseller reviews. They're different, but they're all in the same family. So it's actually very natural to do this, right? If you're about a certain thing, you end up kind of talking about related topics. So this is a huge new change, and it's really important. And it is something that we need everyone to sort of understand and be able to go in and administer. Okay, I'm sure the questions are coming on that one, Adam, but let's go to the next one here and talk about some other settings.
Yeah, sorry, Ted. I am typing fast and furious. There's a lot of people saying this looks awesome. It looks really awesome. It's a time saver. I've been using it all week myself for some work I've been doing, and it really has been excellent. Really build out that editorial calendar for the on-site content and find those long-tail targets very, very quickly, pop them in, and then they're on the screen, and then you'll see over time as they get written, those little green buttons will turn blue. So just all around, way less manual, expanding the footprint of the site with on-site content really well. I think it's cool stuff.
Great. Let's talk a minute about infographics. So again, this is another fairly big workflow change. We actually hired graphic designers, been working on our methodology. There's a lot of sort of under the covers things that we've been doing to actually even enable this feature. And you can also see on the plans which of the on the pricing, which of the plans actually include an infographic. But the place that you need to look at a setting is, again, on campaign details. And so what we allow you to do is to go in and tell us, do you want us to put the end customer's brand on the infographic or not? Again, our default would be, why not? These are great looking infographics. Definitely put the end customer's brand on there. But we know some people don't have permission, or they know their client's very skittish about how their brand's used, and so we do want to give you that feature. So as you can see here, again, I'm on campaign details for this test campaign that I created for the webinar today. And on the advanced tab under campaign details, I have a number of settings. One of the new ones we just added here is, do you want logo on video and graphics? On means yes, the logo will be there. Off means no, logo won't be there. Okay, we'll keep going. Next, local. As I mentioned earlier, local has changed a lot. What we've done is, rather than having a separate plan for local and then a link building or a content marketing plan, we've actually consolidated those together so that there's content marketing and local built together. One of the things we did, which really is going to save us a lot of time and probably you a lot of time, is we've enhanced our local tab in the campaign details so that we actually can track the URLs and the status of verifying all the listings. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here under the local tab, again under campaign details, what you have is there's a place where you can put in your local listing information and then a business description. This information is what we use to build the local citations. We get 2 a month that we do. We basically take this information verbatim. We've had some people come in here and type all kinds of strange stuff in the business description. We added a little info box here saying, this information will be published as citations verbatim. So if you put a question in there, it's going to get published out as part of your citations. So don't do that. Put in exactly what you want, the business description. The other really cool thing, again, here is that we've added in the ability to plug in the URL to your Google, Yahoo, Bing, and Yelp listing. And then you also have the ability to set the status. So in most cases, we'll be doing this. We'll be going in, and as you have our team working on the different services, we'll be going in and populating this information and setting the status, not started, claimed and wait, verified. We also have the ability through our admin side of things to save a username and password that you can then pick up from here and go and provide to a client or just have for your own records.
Chad, sorry, I'm a little behind. Just in the chat window, people have questions about clients with multiple locations.
Yeah.
And others are saying these new fields look awesome, and they're really glad to see that we've got stuff that's going to be a little more visible. But what about multiple locations?
Yeah, multiple locations. That was a good one. That was some feedback that we had in the forum, and we talked about that internally. What we're going to do is we're going to continue to have the $99 add-on for local plans. So the first location will be the standard. We'll use one of our new local plans. But then if you do have multiple locations, you'll be able to create a second campaign and sign up for the current $99 program, which will have a fairly similar set of activities, and we'll publish some more details on that. That's something that, again, we identified from feedback. The plan is to continue with the $99 one. The only thing just to note is that we are going to be building in some business logic in our SOW process that won't let you select that plan unless there is another local, sort of a full-service local plan on another campaign in that account. So we are going to build some business logic so that we don't have people signing up for just the $99 service, because, again, we really believe that you have to do more than just simply claim the listings and build a couple citations. You need to be doing content marketing, which is why we added those into, why we kind of reworked how we're going to be doing local. Okay, so on-site content. This is something that I'm super excited that we're adding in, because it's one of the things that I think, as I've looked across all of our different campaigns that we work on for you guys, there are too many times where, I'll go into Google, I'll do site : the domain name, and I'll basically use a filter to say, I want to see any new content in the last month, this year, and there's way too many times when there's nothing new on websites for at least a year, if not longer in some cases. So that just isn't going to work, right? Just think about it. It doesn't make sense. Why would lots of people want to come to your website, engage in your content if there's nothing ever new on your site? So on-site content is our way of making that happen. And again, we had to make some pretty significant workflow changes here. And again, we're creating a new department at the company for premium writers. The premium writer team, again, is an optional feature for all of the off-site content marketing we do. But all plans that have an on-site blog will get the premium writer team for their on-site content. This means a couple things. One is that these are going to be our senior writing team. So it's not to say that our junior writing team aren't good. They're good too. But the guys, the best of the best, will get promoted to the premium writer team. They also get more time for every article or piece of content that they create or blog they create. They're going to get more time. And there will be a more frequent review cycle for all that information as well. So again, we really want this. This is a great thing. The premium writing team will write the on-site blog. We'll use the topic keywords that we just demonstrated. So if at any point your client or you decide, as Adam said, that you have an editorial plan, hey, we really should write an article on this topic, you just go into campaign details, you go to topic keywords, and you just drop in that topic for an on-site blog, and then that'll get picked up, and we'll be able to write an on-site blog about it. So it's a really neat feature. Now, when it comes to actually publishing the on-site content, that's actually an issue onto itself. I mean, it really is. It's a hard one, because we have a lot of on-site blogs that we've written that actually are still sitting in the task that no one's ever actually picked up and put on a website. So again, we know that's not going to keep a customer happy in the long run. So we're going to do some stuff here that we think is pretty exciting. You're going to have 4 options for how we actually publish the content to the end client's website. So option 1 is we don't do anything. You get to pick it up and do it yourself. So that's sort of the current state. Option 2 is that if it's a WordPress website, we can actually use the XML RPC sort of backdoor into WordPress, and we can actually automatically publish it. So when the on-site content's done, the system will automatically pick that up and publish it to the end customer's website. So this is really cool, and the nice thing about it is it just simplifies the workflow. All right, the next option is an editor review and the client publish, and the third one is editor review and web team publish. So what that means is that basically there's a review state, and then it gets routed to the client to publish, or the editor reviews, and then the web team publishes. So those are the 4 options that you have. And I just want to give everyone a heads up that the big storms here on the East Coast are rolling through here. So Adam, if for some reason we lose power, you might have to take over.
Good time for a question, Chad. There's a lot of people chattering in the chat windows about on-site content and the shift away from geo-targeted target keywords. Can you address that? You may have already, but if people are confused, they understand, I think, but you might want to hit it again, why the geo-targeted words have to come out of content marketing, and that Google's specifically targeting low-quality content, and geo-targeted terms is one signal for that. But so how do you accomplish ranking on geo-targeted terms if you're moving away from it in your off-site content?
Yeah, great question. So one of the things that's in, actually, let me bounce over and pull up our pricing screens here. So let's take a look at this, because what we've done is we've actually significantly increased our on-site report and on-site implementation. So here's our standard SEO plans, and you can see that the basic plan has 10 keywords, intermediate 20, standard 30. Now what we've done is we'll do a 10, 20, or 30-page on-site report. So we can take those 10, 20, or 30 geo-targeted keywords, and we can actually go to the website and come up with specific places where we can try to optimize those pages for those keywords. So a lot of that geo-targeted optimization is going to happen via on-site. Okay? And we'll even down here, you'll see we have website copy edits. We can take 3, 7, or 9 pages and go through and actually rewrite a substantive amount of the content on that page to try to incorporate some of the more important phrases that you're trying to rank on. So then what happens is you've got your geo-targeted, if you think about the website, you now have your target pages. You go into the keyword mapping part of the campaign details, and you map these keywords to the appropriate page on the website that we've already done the on-site optimization and implementation for you on. So now you've got that information there. We can surround that on the blog and whatnot with related information that's going to support those geo-targeted keywords, even though they're not going to be, again, stuffed with those keywords at all, right? Because we want that to be valuable content that someone's looking at and can read on the blog. So that's our plan for how we can make the two work together. On-site will really be where we can get those geo-targeted keywords in the title tags and descriptions and try to make it into the H1s and whatnot. And then around that, we'll be doing content marketing with topic keywords that are extremely readable and interesting.
Thanks, Chad. That's excellent. And it sounds like we might be de-emphasizing the importance of off-site and earning backlinks, and we're really not. That's still as critical as ever, as everyone knows, but it is a significant shift in your thinking. It used to be, I want to rank on this geo-targeted keyword, that was my on-site, that was my off-site, everything lined up, we go away. But the problem with that is the off-site content quality suffered because those are unnatural phrases, and that's really what Google's been targeting, and they are telling us we don't want to see it anymore, and we're listening because we want to do excellent content marketing. So this is a big shift in your thinking. We can still get there, as Chad just articulated it. It is more complex, but I think ultimately it will work better, and it will be built for the long haul as the off-site content marketing is now on topics that really answers questions and has a much higher percentage of content built for real users and is really going to get shared. So it is a mindset shift, but our account managers will help you through that.
Okay, so for on-site implementation, I don't have a lot to show today in terms of a demo. I just wanted to make sure everyone understands the process here. What we're going to be doing is, back again to our pricing, we will be creating a PRQ. So I don't know if for those of you who haven't been through our new website development process, we've built this ability to create a proposal for web work and then gather those requirements to a point where they're dev ready. They can actually be picked up by our dev team and implemented. So what we're going to be doing with the on-site report and on-site implementation is that our on-site SEO analyst team will be actually creating a proposal for you, and that proposal, they will then turn that proposal into a PRQ. So it'll be essentially a dev-ready set of requirements on what needs to happen to the website. Now, included in every plan is the ability then when you're ready, you can look at that PRQ and you'll have a button that will say, I approve, go make these changes. Our dev team will pick that up and go implement those changes per the spec that we've given them. So it's, again, you're involved. We're building out the proposal. We're building out the PRQ. You get to review it with the client if you want or yourself, and then you can say, go implement it. Our team will go build it out, give you a date when it's going to be done, and it'll get done. Now, if at some point, you don't have access to the website or it's a different department, whatever it might be, we run into all sorts of different scenarios. You can also take that PRQ. Again, it's a dev-ready set of requirements. You can take that to your client and say, I know you're not giving me permission to make the changes, but here's what we need to make. Please make this happen. Okay, one of the last things I want to talk about, because we're not going to have enough time to really go through, rehash some of the content types, but that was in our last webinar, so I think we're in good shape here. But the last thing I want to talk about was marketing collateral. So again, today we're just posting two new sell sheets, one for the new Real SEO, standard SEO programs, as well as the local SEO. We also have the premium writer service sell sheet. All three of those documents will be available to our account managers and customer service. So again, just go raise a ticket in your dashboard, and we can attach those and send them back to you. Okay, great. The last thing I wanted to cover here, we're running out of time, I'm just going to skip a couple slides here, is we wanted to talk about a special offer for this month. So what we want to do is we'd like to get as many of you as possible to move to the new SEO programs. And what we're willing to do here is to make that very easy. And if you want to move a new plan over, you've already paid for June, what we'll do is we'll just basically, wherever we are, we'll just move you over to the new plan without any prorated charges or anything else. So there's some benefit to getting to the new programs in the next couple weeks. And we recommend all you need to do is just, again, build a support ticket on the campaign you want to move over, and then we'll make sure that happens seamlessly. Okay, Adam, I think we're at the end of the hour here. Are there any final questions that people want to hit before we end this?
No, I think I've answered most of them in the chat window. So thanks again for joining, everybody. I know this is a big change, but we're really excited about the effectiveness that's going to come with these new plans, and appreciate everybody working through the changes, because I know it's a lot of work for everybody.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. And again, we're really excited about where this is taking us, and excited about the getting through getting these changes out the door, and then seeing the great results that I think we're all going to see here. So thanks a lot for your time, and this will be posted on our website tomorrow.
Have a great afternoon.